President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met on Thursday visiting Bahraini King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa in the Red Sea city of Sharm el-Sheikh for talks that covered bilateral relations in addition to a number of Arab and regional issues of mutual concern. Al-Sisi expressed Egypt's appreciation to historic ties that bind the two nations and said he was looking forward to enhance the bilateral relations in various domains. The head of state called for intensifying bilateral talks between officials of the two countries and coordinating their consultations concerning consecutive developments in the Middle East region, in addition to consolidating joint Arab and Islamic unity and solidarity in confronting different regional challenges. For his part, King Hamad offered his appreciation to the president and hailed the Egyptian-Bahraini close and sincere ties, confirming that his current visit to Egypt comes within the framework of distinguished relations that bind the two brotherly nations that share one future and destiny. Expressing his country's desire to support bilateral ties on all levels, the Bahraini monarch, he hailed Egypt's pivotal and crucial role in the region as a key cornerstone to security and stability of the Middle East, plus its relentless efforts to enhance the joint Arab action at all levels, hailing the promoted ties between the two countries in the political, economic and investment levels. Presidential spokesman Bassem Radi said the meeting tackled horizons of cooperation between the two countries for the sake of achieving interests of the two nations. Radi said President al-Sisi and King Hamad reviewed a number of regional and international issues of mutual concern, including the Middle East peace process, the Libyan crisis, and the situation in Afghanistan, plus the two countries' joint efforts to combat the spread of the coronavirus pandemic. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi pledged support for elections in Libya and rejected any foreign interference in the country's internal affairs in talks with interim Prime Minister Abdelhamid Dbeibeh days after meeting military leader Khalifa Haftar.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi stressed the significance that the upcoming Libyan elections would respect and achieve the free will of the Libyan people. During his meeting with the visiting Libyan head of the National Unity Government, Abdelhamid Dbeibeh, at the Ittihadiyya Palace, President al-Sisi also renewed Egypt's stance on respecting the Libyan sovereignty and unity and rejecting all forms of foreign interventions in the internal affairs. The president also called for uniting the Libyan army and strengthening the Libyan national institutions. For his part, Dbeibeh expressed the country's appreciation to the Egyptian support to the Libyan stability and security. The meeting was attended by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and head to the General Intelligence Abbas Kamel. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Madbouli and Dbeibeh headed the 11th session of the Egyptian-Libyan Higher Committee on Thursday. After the committee's meeting, the two prime ministers witnessed the signing of a number of cooperation agreements between the two sides. The agreements were signed by the ministers from the two countries, including agreements in the fields of agriculture, infrastructure and the civil aviation security. The two sides also signed contracts to establish Agdabia in Libya and a new power station, as well as a number of deals in the fields of housing, petroleum and natural gas. Dbeibeh arrived in Cairo on Wednesday for talks on the future ties between the two African neighbors. The visit comes less than 5 months after Madbouli became the most senior Egyptian official to visit Libya. Parliament Speaker Aqila Saleh, who also met with President al-Sisi alongside Haftar, ratified the law last week governing the presidential elections. An interim government was established earlier this year to lead the conflict-ridden Libya towards December 24th parliamentary and presidential polls.
Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry held on Thursday a meeting with visiting Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of the Democratic Congo, Christopher Lutundula. The talks covered all fields of cooperation as well as regional and international issues of mutual concern. A press conference was held after the talks. Egypt welcomed the new UN Security Council statement which encourages Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia to resume negotiations on Ethiopia's disputed Nile Dam under the auspices of the African Union, with the aim of reaching a legally binding agreement on filling and operating the dam within an acceptable timetable. A Foreign Ministry statement welcomed the Security Council statement as an important impetus for success in renewed talks. The statement pointed out to UN Security Council statement is a boost to the efforts exerted by the African Union to push forward negotiations, which enforces Ethiopia to get engaged in talks with an untrue political will to reach a legally binding agreement. For its part, Sudan backed the resumption of AU-led talks during a visit by the delegation from the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Sudanese Foreign Ministry said it wanted changes to the ineffective method that has characterized previous rounds of negotiation. Head of the National Media Authority, Mr. Hussein Zain, participated in Euro-Asian Media Forum in the 17th session in the city of Nur Sultan, Kazakhstan. CEO of the National Radio and Television Corporation of Kazakhstan, Lazat Tanzbani, welcomed Zain, who thanked her for the warm welcome. The two sides discussed ways to activate and implement all media cooperation protocols with Kazakhstan, including exchange of programs and documentaries. The head of the National Media Authority toured the studios of the Kazakh Radio and Television Company in Nur Sultan, accompanied by the CEO, Lazat Tanzbani, in the presence of the Egyptian consul in Kazakhstan. During the tour, the two sides agreed to exchange expertise between the two countries.